This past Tuesday, astronomers around the world bid farewell to a mini-moon that had dropped into Earth's orbit back in September of 2020. What is a mini-moon, you may ask? I am certainly asking that question. Well, our resident science engagement astronomer from the observatory, Dr. Daniel Kahnemer, joins us to answer all of our questions. Dr. Dan, how are you doing, buddy?
Good, thanks yourself. Thanks for having me.
Always great to connect with you because I'm like a kid in a candy store with this kind of space news. It's really cool stuff. This is quite a quirky story, and I'm really interested to know what a mini-moon actually is. Is it a space rock? Is it an asteroid? What is a mini-moon?
So this one's a pretty cool one. I like this one too, the quirk. So basically, a planet is something that goes around a star. In our case, the sun. A moon is something that goes around a planet. So this mini-moon, which we'll talk about a little bit more now, it was basically orbiting the sun, and then it came past Earth and did a nice little orbit around Earth, and now it's going to go back around the sun. So briefly, for a little while, it was orbiting the Earth and was a mini-moon of the Earth. Now it's essentially a planet again, but not really a planet.
But not really a planet. Shame, and it's a misfit. No one knows where 2020 SO fits into the great galaxy out there. So how did 2020 SO make its way into Earth's orbit? What is its origins, and will it come back in? Will we ever see it as a mini-moon again?
Yeah, so at first, the astronomers didn't really know what this was. They suspected it was an asteroid. We detect these asteroids all the time. We're constantly monitoring the night sky for asteroids which are going to come close to the Earth. And then this was flagged as one. It's about 12 meters across, but it was moving very, very slowly for an asteroid. So 3,000 kilometers an hour, which is seems fast, but it's very slow for an asteroid. They're normally moving at tens of kilometers a second. So astronomers already sort of realized that this was something else. And what they worked out by looking at it more and more detail was that it's actually a rocket body. So it's a second stage booster from a rocket that went up in 1966.
Oh, wow.
When they were launching a surveyor craft, a lander, to land on the moon. So before they launched humans to the moon, they were launching landers to try and investigate the sort of surface of the moon and things. So this is an old rocket body which escaped Earth's orbit, and since 1966 has been orbiting the sun roughly once a year, and occasionally coming past Earth. And in this case, kind of got grabbed by Earth's gravity and did a little loop around us before carrying on its way.
I love that. Now it's back on its merry way off into the universe.
Exactly.
Do we get these kind of mini-moons often?
Not often, but they do happen. We had a couple in the last decade or so. There was one in 2006, 2007, which did a loop around us, and then another one in 2018, which did a couple of loops around us. Those were both asteroids, so they were orbiting the sun and just space rocks, which came around the Earth once or twice and then moved on. So yeah, they're briefly little moons around Earth, and then they carry on trundling through space. It's pretty cool.
I absolutely love it, man. So 2020 SO made obviously that close approach to Earth this Tuesday. What's its trajectory after it leaves Earth's orbit? Does it go past any other planets? Is there a likelihood that it might get sucked into the gravity of a different one of our neighbors in the galaxy?
So it's in a pretty close to Earth's orbit because it sort of came off Earth. It didn't have a huge velocity. So it's moving very, very close to Earth's orbit. It's not moving that much faster than Earth. So it'll stay pretty much in Earth's orbit. There's a chance that in a few years or few decades' time, it'll cross our orbit again. If it does it close enough, it'll come in and impact with the Earth. But, we have these rocket bodies impacting not regularly, but they do happen, and they'll mostly burn up in the atmosphere before they hit Earth. So it's nothing really to worry about. But who knows? It'll definitely stay roughly in Earth's orbit. It's not going to shoot out to Mars or anything or crash into the sun.
Yeah, maybe one of Elon Musk's satellites, perhaps. But I absolutely love that. I don't know why I suddenly feel this emotional attachment to 2020 SO. But thank you so much, man. What a cool and, as I said, quirky story. We love it, man. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Godspeed to 2020 ESO as he makes his merry way back into orbiting around the sun. Big thank you to Dr. Daniel Kahneman, as always, for our space updates.